Let's use the file the employees.docs to have a look at dealing with a header row in a Word table. Now, a header row is a row that repeats on every page. Currently, this particular file is 4 pages long and it's one big table full of information, employee information. But what you'll notice is on page 2, 3 and 4, there are no column headings, so we don't actually know what's meant to be in each column. Now we could, and I've seen this happen, go to the top of each page, insert a row, we know how to do that, under Layout, Insert Above, and actually copy and paste in the title headings. That will work until you start to enter data or adjust margins or row heights, and then the titles won't happen to be at the top of each page, and then they'll look a little remiss. The real tool to use is to ask Word to repeat the header row. Now on page 1, that's our header row, obviously. It's got the titles in. So we just click into that row. I don't even need to highlight it. I just click into it. On the Table Tools Layout ribbon, there is a nice little option, Repeat Header Rows. If I give that a click, nothing appears to have happened. If I then go down to page 2, I see at the top of the page are the titles. Now I can't actually click into those titles because in reality they're not there. They're just being repeated by Word at the top of each page. So at the top of page 3, they are repeated. At the top of page 4, they are repeated. So that's Repeat Header Rows. Now to turn that feature off, if you don't want it, you simply click back into the row that is the header row and effectively turn the option off again. It's just a on-off switch. So now it's off, it isn't there. Now if you want more than one row to act as a header row, so I've got my titles here, but I might want to insert above and create like a heading. So if I merge those and create a table across, employee list for 2013. Now I want both of these rows to be repeated as headings. Then I highlight both rows. Now I didn't need to highlight when it was a single row, but for multiple rows, I do need to highlight both rows. Then choose Repeat Header Rows. And when I go to page 2, I see both rows are repeated. And again, I can't get into them to edit them at all. They're just repeated there, like ghost rows by Word. Same at the top of page 3 and at the top of page 4. Now you will notice that more data has been pushed into row 4 because room has to be made for these two little ghost rows. But they are only ghost rows and the only place you can edit them is in page 1. So you'd always need to go back to the beginning to then make any changes. So you might change surname to last name and you'll see that that change is then reflected on page 2 and the subsequent pages that you have a header row. So a header row is a row or number of rows that will be repeated every time the table is effectively stretched or moved into another page. So if enough data takes it into page 2, then the header row information appears in page 2.